welcome back to the D4 channel. And today we have sad news, but I also want to make it a celebration. We're going to be talking about the great James Earl Jones, aka Darth Vader and Mufasa. But before we get to all of that, please like and subscribe to the D4 channel for all your Star Wars entertainment news and enjoyment on this side of the YouTube galaxy. And please click the bell for notifications for every time we upload a video. But without further ado, let's get to the very sad news. But I want to make it a little bit more celebratory because James Earl Jones, he did pass, but he was 93. So it wasn't much of a shock. I mean, it was a shock to me because I was going to the gym on Monday, and my boy tells me Darth Vader's dead, and I'm like, James Earl Jones? And he's like, yeah. I usually get these things on my feed, usually on Instagram, where I get updated a lot with these news of celebrities passing or doing whatever, especially in the Star Wars universe. So it definitely took me by surprise because, when you watch these people or hear these people throughout your whole life and they're bigger than life, you can't fathom death ever being a thing for these people. Like, you think they live forever because that's just the idea you built into your mind. And that's the same that I've thought about James Earl Jones. Like, just like Vader, he was immortal and he still is. So I want to take this time to more celebrate who and what he is than the sadness of his passing, because obviously when anybody dies it's very sad, but he lived a very full life. Obviously the role he's known for the most is being Darth Vader in the original trilogy, and that's really where he made his name. But also, if you're a big animation Disney fan, then you also know him as Mufasa. Those are probably his two biggest roles that he's known for. But he's done a lot of work. He's been in like Coming to America, and one of my favorite roles. It was a small little role, but like a kind of a cameo. But he was in the whole episode. Was in Big Bang Theory. I think it was in season 7, where Sheldon and his group are trying to go to Comic-Con, but they can't go to Comic-Con. So Sheldon wants to start his own convention, and he's failing to get like celebrities to join his new convention. So he stalks James Earl Jones, and to everyone's surprise watching the episode, James Earl Jones, he is a very funny and kind fellow to Sheldon, even though Sheldon's very weird.
Let me guess. You like Star Wars. I have one thing to say to people like you. I like Star Wars too.
But he actually ends up tiring out Sheldon with like taking him around town, hanging out with him, singing karaoke. They even go to Carrie Fisher's house to play a little prank. Rest in peace, Carrie Fisher.
Whose house is this?
Carrie Fisher. And she's a little crazy, so get ready to run.
It's not funny anymore, James!
Then why am I laughing?
And that little cameo just shows the person he was. He's just a fun guy. He is just a guy who he enjoys. Like, a lot of actors, especially nowadays, when they do Star Wars, either for a job or maybe the fans, bully them so much they want nothing to do with Star Wars. But James Earl Jones wasn't that guy. He was proud to be Darth Vader. He was proud to be Mufasa in any role he came across. So I absolutely love that. I really wish I got to meet the guy. Same thing with Carrie Fisher. Like, I'm really sad that I'll never ever get to meet these legends in person, especially being a big Star Wars fan. Like, this is why I'm very excited for Star Wars Celebrations, to meet the legends that we still do have, like the Mark Hamills and and the Hayden Christensen's and the Ian McGregor's. Like I need to meet these people before the will of the Force comes into play. But James Earl Jones, he was absolutely amazing guy. I think my favorite role of him, and this is probably gonna be most people's answers, but I think Empire Strikes Back. That was the best. I think he's besides leave out Mufasa, because Mufasa, like, that's a whole nother. He was fantastic in that. Even though the story is really about Simba, taking over, pride once his father dies, but he was fantastic in The Lion King and also in the live action. The live action was just a live action version of the animation. But I think Empire Strikes Back for Star Wars was by far his most prolific role, because Darth Vader as a character, as a presence in all the Star Wars films, and Empire Strikes Back is really where you see him shine. Even funny little one-liners that you now know, connecting the Anakin Skywalker Darth Vader situation, where Darth Vader still keeps that humor, but it's a lot darker now, and James Earl Jones brought that out very well. Like when he's choking out the Imperial, he's like, "Apology accepted, Captain Nita." Like those little things right here is like, perhaps you think you're being treated unfairly, to Lando Calrissian when he's arguing about the deal that's going on, and all those little jabs and lines. It couldn't be delivered in such a way unless James Earl Jones was doing it. And also, rest in peace, David Prowse, the big man that was actually in the suit as Darth Vader. When they casted him, George Lucas, at first wanted him to do the voice, David Prowse to do the voice of Vader, because he's in the suit, so you might as well, be the voice of Vader. But if you guys are Star Wars fans, you've probably seen the clips around YouTube. But despite being a very, very big man, David Prowse's voice did not fit the dark, foreboding, very aggressive presence that Vader was. It was actually very comical when you hear him speak. So it was so cool that George Lucas had to find a voice that fit the body of Vader, and James Earl Jones was that guy. The combination between David Prowse doing the movements of Vader and James Earl Jones voicing him in the scenes really put together one of the greatest villains of all time in all of cinema. And definitely Empire Strikes Back, I think, was by far his most prolific role. But he's been in basically everything in Star Wars up until his passing. I mean, he's been in Obi-Wan, obviously. He's been in Rogue One, where people complain that he sounds like what was he, 80-something at the time? He sounds like an 80-year-old man in Rogue One. But hell, even sounding not like his 1970s version, he brought so much to that role, even when he's telling director Krennic, "Be careful not to choke on your aspirations, director." Like, all those stuff is just delivered with such professionalism and such humor that no one could have done it but James Earl Jones. And I think in Obi-Wan, they did use AI to make him sound like his younger version, and I believe he signed the deal that allows Lucasfilm to use AI versions of his voice for Vader for the foreseeable future, anytime they have him in a movie or a TV show. Obviously, I'm assuming his family will be getting paid the residuals every time Vader's voice is used. And I thought that was cool of him, because everyone, people are fighting AI a lot in this industry. But especially in terms of a voice like Vader, where it's supposed to sound a little bit robotic, and I don't know what else the word is, but it's supposed to sound kind of AI-ish, because that's how Vader sounds. Because in Obi-Wan, you really can't tell that it was AI. It sounds very much like Vader. So, or I should say James Earl Jones' voice as Vader. So I think that despite him, leaving us and becoming one with the Force, he will always be a part of us and the galaxy at large forever, as long as Star Wars and Lucasfilm are a thing. And I don't know if he actually did, because I believe Mufasa, the prequel to The Lion King, is coming out this year. I'm not sure if they got him to do a younger Mufasa, or if they used AI to make him sound like a young Mufasa, or if he actually did it and they just, use audio techniques to make him sound younger. So I really don't know. On his IMDb page, I don't see. I don't think I see that the Mufasa movie in his IMDb. So I'm not entirely sure if he will be doing that, but I'm assuming so, because it is Mufasa, and Mufasa is very much linked to James Earl Jones. So I'd be surprised if he didn't have at least something to do in that movie. But we love James Earl Jones. Very sad to hear that he's passed, but he's now one with the Force, and I know he'll be with us, and he's watching down on all the Star Wars fans and on Lucasfilm, hoping that we get good quality Star Wars like he gave us throughout his entire life. But you let me know your favorite James Earl Jones memory in the comments below. There are no wrong answers, so please type away in the comment section. Again, D4 will respond to all of your beautiful comments. And again, please subscribe to the D4 channel for all your Star Wars entertainment and update here on this side of the YouTube galaxy. And as always, may the Force be with you always. James Earl Jones, we love you. See you next time. Peace.